What if the very moment you lose all hope is precisely when a miracle is about to unfold? In the dusty village of Bethany, a family's darkest hour became the stage for one of history's most powerful demonstrations of divine love. This isn't just another Bible story. It's a roadmap for anyone who's ever felt like their situation was beyond repair. Get ready to discover why sometimes God's greatest victories come wrapped in our deepest defeats. Death had won, or so it seemed. The messenger's feet were bloodied from running, his lungs burning as he collapsed before Jesus with the urgent plea, "Lord, the one you love is sick." But by the time those words reached Christ's ears, Lazarus, his dear friend, brother to Mary and Martha, was already 4 days cold in a borrowed tomb. In that small village of Bethany, 2 sisters sat surrounded by mourners, their hope buried as deep as their brother's lifeless body. Martha, ever the practical one, had already accepted the finality of it all. Mary, overwhelmed by grief, could barely lift her tear-stained face. The sweet aroma of burial spices still lingered in the air, a haunting reminder that some doors, once closed, never open again. But Jesus was coming. When word spread that the teacher was approaching, Martha's heart leaped with a mixture of desperate hope and bitter disappointment. She ran to meet him on the road, her words tumbling out like water from a broken dam. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Can you hear the ache in those words? The unspoken question that echoes in every human heart when tragedy strikes. Where were you when I needed you most? Jesus' response wasn't a theological lecture or a gentle pat on the shoulder. Instead, he made a declaration that would shatter the boundaries of human understanding. "Your brother will rise again." Martha, thinking he meant the distant resurrection at the end of time, missed the immediate miracle standing right in front of her. "I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day," she replied, her voice heavy with resignation. Then came the words that changed everything. "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die." At the tomb, even Jesus wept. The shortest verse in the Bible, "Jesus wept," carries the weight of infinite compassion. Here was God himself, moved to tears by human suffering, proving that our pain matters to him. But his tears weren't tears of defeat. They were tears of love preparing to triumph over death itself. "Take away the stone," Jesus commanded. Martha protested, practical to the end. "But Lord, by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." Death had done its work thoroughly. Hope seemed not just dead, but decomposing. Then came the shout that split eternity. "Lazarus, come out!" The earth seemed to hold its breath. Silence stretched like a taut string. Then, movement. The rustle of grave clothes. A figure emerging from the darkness, bound hand and foot, stumbling toward the light. "Take off the grave clothes and let him go," Jesus said quietly, as if raising the dead was as natural as breathing. The miracle's message. Lazarus teaches us that God's timing isn't our timing. It's better. When Jesus delayed his coming to Bethany, it wasn't indifference. It was intentionality. A healing would have been wonderful, but a resurrection was unforgettable. Sometimes God allows our situations to die completely so he can demonstrate that nothing, absolutely nothing, is beyond his power to restore. The 4 days weren't an accident. In Jewish culture, it was believed the soul lingered near the body for 3 days. By waiting until the 4th day, Jesus eliminated any possibility of doubt. This wasn't resuscitation. This was resurrection. This wasn't merely impressive, this was impossible made possible. Your impossibility is God's opportunity. Whatever tomb you're staring at today, whether it's a broken relationship, a failed dream, a financial crisis, or a health diagnosis, remember that the same voice that called Lazarus from the grave is calling your situation from death to life. The God who wept with you in your pain is the same God who has power over your problem. Don't give up when God seems absent. Don't lose hope when the situation seems hopeless. Don't assume silence means indifference. Sometimes the greatest miracles come not to prevent our problems, but to prove that our God is bigger than any grave we face. Your story isn't over. your miracle might be one divine shout away. The tomb couldn't hold Lazarus, and whatever seems dead in your life can't hold back God's power either. If this story has stirred something in your heart, there are more incredible truths waiting to be discovered. Subscribe to join us as we uncover the life-changing stories that prove God's love never gives up, never gives in, and never stops working miracles in the lives of those who believe.